Stars shine at a night, some stars shine at a bright daylight. It is our pleasure to welcome such a star, Dr. Bhuvan ma'am, in our GF family. Welcome ma'am. Dr. Bhuvan ma'am recently joined the GF group, so Harshita ma'am suggested that to take an interview for to know more about Dr. Bhuvan ma'am. So we having this session today. Welcome ma'am. Firstly, I introduce myself. My name is Sankamre Sandharani Shamsundar. I am a BPharm third year student from Dayananda Institute of Pharmacy, Latur. Now, I would like to request to Chaya to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank GF for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this session. My name is Betkar Chaya Mahadev. I am from Turzapur. I am B Pharmacy first year student from Arihant College of Pharmacy, Ahmednagar, and I am also a part of GF family.
Thank you, Chaya, for your introduction. Now, I also would like to welcome Harshita ma'am, who has been giving us this opportunity and guiding us. So, welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll just introduce myself for 2 minutes. I have joined GF a few years back, and I was working with Pradeep sir in Patni Computers when it was Patni, and then afterward Patni was taken over by iGate. So I worked in the company for almost 26 years, and I left in 2014. So from that time, I'm on a break. I'm enjoying my life now. Because I have worked very hard for 26 years. So my children says ki now you chill at home and you enjoy. So I'm doing that now. And I'm helping Pradeep, and I'm very, very proud of all our GF students. They are so confident, they are so good, and my experience has been very good, and I'm very happy to be part of the family.
Thank you, ma'am. Bhuvan ma'am, we would like to know little more about you. Can you give us a short background about you?
Yeah, sure. First of all, a good evening to all of you. Thanks a lot, Harshita, Sandhya and Chaya, for having taken time out to organize this meet. And it's nice to see you all. And it's a very nice moment for me also for being able to be given an opportunity to be involved in this foundation. It's a new chapter for my life also. I've always wanted to do a lot of, these kind of things, associate myself with education, enhancing education for underprivileged students. I've always had a dream of opening a school of myself for underprivileged children. That's not at, fruitified, but then at least I'm part of this, so I feel very fulfilling. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm Dr. Bhuvaneshwari Krishna, though I'm known as Bhuvan ma'am for most of you. I am 51 years old. I'm a professor. I teach in a college. I teach undergraduate and postgraduate biotechnology courses affiliated to the Mumbai University. I have done my BSc, MSc and PhD. That's my educational qualification, and my PhD is in biotechnology from Pune University, NCCS. After doing my PhD, I joined a pharma biotech company where I worked for about 5 years, from 2000 to 2005. So I finished my PhD somewhere around 1999, 2000. Until 2005, I was involved with R&D of this pharma biotech company, where I was involved in a lot of R&D activities. In 2005, I moved to academics. So since 2005, I've been here teaching in this college, which is named by Srimati CHM College, Ulhasnagar, which is affiliated to the Mumbai University. On my personal front, I am married, and I have a son who is presently in 12th standard, and he's dreaming about a good engineering degree in a good college. So we are, as you all know, during this pandemic, 12th standard still is in suspension. There is no further, there are no results are not out. IIT mains are still pending. CET is pending. So we are just waiting, and my son is enjoying the freedom that he has got, the extra time that he has got now he's enjoying. So that's about myself. I have my mother-in-law still alive, and she stays with us sometimes with our brother-in-law. My parents are not there anymore. I have a brother. That's all about me. Anything else you want, you can ask me, prompt me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, how did you come to know about GEF?
I think Dr. Pradeep and myself have a common friend who's Pushpa Subramaniam Madam. Pushpa Subramaniam Madam is with the Art of Living. She's a teacher of the Art of Living, and I also am a devotee of Sri Ravi Shankar, who's the founder of the Art of Living, which is the largest NGO, world's largest NGO. So when I was talking to her about some of my students having trouble, having not only financial issues, but emotional and traumatic experiences that they were undergoing throughout the pandemic. So some of my students have gone to her for some, meditation and all that. So she recommended me to be getting in touch with Dr. Pradeep, and then the rest is history. That's how I got to know about GEF.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, as you work in industry, then why you switched to academics? Can you give us little background about it?
Yeah, there was a personal reason. I mean, my son came into my life. Okay, I got married as I joined the industry, and 2005, 2004, 2003, actually, my son was born. So I kind of was on leave for about 6 to 8 months, and then I joined. But then I realized that, I'm not able to give enough time to my newborn child, and that he needed my presence at this time of his formative years. So it is a very personal decision that I took, and I moved from industry to academia. Because academia gives you the little bit of flexibility, less working hours, less pressure. And I was qualified to be joining into the academia. So I got this offer from my own alma mater. Where I'm teaching now is my own alma mater. So I got this offer from my own teachers who were there. And they said, join us and we will be happy to have you. So it was like, a smooth shift, and that's how I've been there. I didn't think I will continue there for a long time. I thought that was a stopgap, and once my son grows up, I will kind of move to another, job in an industry. But I stuck around because I think I enjoyed it and I like.
Ma'am, since you have your field, can you tell us what difficulties you had faced after changing your field?
In fact, I didn't face any difficulties. I've not changed the field in that sense. Okay, I moved from industry to academia, and as I said, academia is more relaxing, more less taxing as compared to the industry. Because industry, I mean, you have to really work long hours, whereas academia doesn't expect you to work so long as much as industry. In industry, you have to leave home by around 7 in the morning. I used to do that, 7:30 in the morning, and I used to return back so late, 10:30. Well, the morning before my child woke up, I used to leave, and by the time I came back, he used to be asleep. So, but in academia, it is, you do a lot of work at home. Actually, you have to prepare your lectures, you have to study, you have to do many things are at home. Half the job is done in the college, and the other half you're doing at home. So I really didn't face any difficulty. It was, in fact, I felt kuch bhi nahi hai ye. There was not much of difficulty at all, because after working for 14 hours, working for 5 or 7 hours doesn't feel like you're working.
And also in academics, you can schedule your lectures, you can plan your lectures. So I think that way also it is on your in your control. Whereas in industry, it is not in your control.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what as a female, what is a significant barrier for your career?
Well, there is really no barrier. The barriers are all in your mind, I think. You create barriers in your mind, and that feels like there is a barrier. So, at least in my case, I didn't feel there was a barrier because it was a conscious decision I took to, shift from industry to academia. I knew that my priority was my child, my family, and I wanted to do justice to that part of it. I looked at upon that also as a great responsibility and a very important role, because bringing up a child is making tomorrow's citizen. Okay, it's our moral and social responsibility to give back to society what we have got. And as a mother, I enjoyed doing it, and I'm very proud of what I did. And I have no regrets. There were no barriers. I wanted to do this. So I did what I wanted to do. And at the same time, I was lucky to have been getting an academic job, which I could manage very easily. So I didn't face any barriers. I didn't have any barriers.
I will share my experience also. See, when I joined Patni, I joined immediately after my marriage. I joined Patni in 1988. And after that, my son was born in 89. And my another son was born in 96. So when my second son was born, I switched from software projects to quality department. And so that I thought I'll be able to manage better, because in software projects, again, you don't have like fixed timings, you have proposals, coming home late and all those things. So I think it is up to us how we decide, how we balance our work and home, and how we decide our priorities. That is very important. You need to decide your priorities. And once you decide your priorities, then you will be able to manage your work and your home. That is what is my, I would like to share.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, as we all know that curricular activities play a very important role in our life, we would like to know about your co-curricular and extracurricular activities.
Okay. I think I did more extracurricular and co-curricular than educate myself, because although I have a PhD degree, I remember that till the time I did my BSc, I used to be on the ground only playing sports. Okay, I never was a person who stayed at home and helped my mother in the kitchen, or I was more of an outdoor person, all the time playing with the guys in my society. And I was good in sports. The only unfortunate thing was, during our period, there were not many facilities to groom people who were interested in sports, and sports was not a career that one could choose. So extracurriculars is like, I've done more of that than I've studied. I've never studied during my college days or my school days, for that matter. I somehow used to, previous day of the exam, somehow जो भी teacher ने पढ़ाया है वो थोड़ा सा याद करती थी और जाती थी. And by God's grace, I used to be scoring good marks. There was no doubt about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have probably been so well placed today. Okay, so my academic career was good, but then I was more oriented towards sports and music. I have learned music for a lot of years. Carnatic classical music I've learned. So my parents always wanted me to learn music, and they enjoyed it, even I enjoyed it. And I have spent a lot of time learning music, and more time learning, or rather playing sports. The only time probably I spent studying was during my PhD, where you have to spend a lot of time doing your PhD research. Okay, you all know, both of you are from pharmacy background, so you know research is not easy to do. You have to spend a lot of hours doing research. So at that time, my sports was a little क्या बोलते हैं उसको, not so active. But then after marriage, after my son was born, I still continue to be very active, physically very active, and I have participated in many competitions, many even today, even now during pandemic, of course everything is closed, but I do marathons, I do a lot of sports. I mean, I'm a cricket, I play cricket very well. And we have tournaments which we all participate in. There are lots of my friends also. I have teams with them. Badminton. I mean, you name the sport, I can play it, except chess. Probably I'm not very interested in chess because you have to sit in one place and play. Chess and carom don't interest me. Otherwise, outdoor sports, every outdoor sport I'm interested in. And music, similarly, I sing even today, and I sing, basically I sing bhajans with the Art of Living. As I said, that's another activity that is my extracurricular. I do yoga, I do meditation, I do the Sudarshan Kriya, which is the world famous, you all probably heard of Sudarshan Kriya, which is Sri Ravi Shankarji's gift to the world. So I practice that every day. And I also take sessions of meditation and yoga for the group that that is another activity I do. I organize for these sessions in my society. And now the Zoom hai, the people from all across the world join there. Whoever is interested can join there. So we have that session every Sunday. In fact, every morning we do that together.
So ma'am, why don't you sing some few lines for us?
Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari Panduranga 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 Hari Panduranga 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 Hari Panduranga Hari Bolo 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 Panduranga Hari Panduranga 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 Hari Panduranga 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 Hari Rama Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari Panduranga 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 Hari Panduranga 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 Hari.
Very nice, very nice. Maza aa gaya. Beautiful. I just want to share with you that I am also BA in music. So I would like to sit with you once and we should have a session.
You are a properly professionally qualified musician.
But long back in the college.
You should sing more. It's like this, if you lose practice, no, you tend to not be able to sing as well as you used to sing earlier.
Correct.
So it's a matter of practice. It is sadhana. So I had also stopped singing after my marriage. I didn't find time, industry job, all that. But it's now of late that, as I said, after joining or practicing or starting to do spirituality and art of living, I got opportunity to sing.
Okay.
And then there is no end to it. Well, I sing every day. I sing every day. Every evening we have a evening session where we do some meditation and chanting. In that we sing a couple of songs. So I
Wow,
sing
wow.
almost everything, at least one
Very,
song.
wow, very nice. Yeah, very, very nice to meet you, ma'am. Because I also have a music as a passion, and you also have a music as a passion. So I think we will meet very soon. Let the
Yeah,
COVID
sure,
get
sure.
over.
You sing Hindustani classical.
Yeah, I used to sing. Now it's almost I lost the touch, but I know all those rags. And on occasions, I sing like Bollywood songs, or if someone's birthday, so I sing a birthday song and I send it to them, and also I love doing all this.
Pradeep sir had sent your profile, and through that, we got to know that are you an active volunteer of Art of Living, and you are practicing yoga and meditation. Then, how long have been practicing yoga? Can you share the importance of yoga and meditation in our lives?
Yeah, as I said, I did this Art of Living course in around 2003, 2004 rather. But yoga and meditation is something that I've been doing since my, I think, childhood. I've been oriented towards it. As I said, I'm a sportsman. So yoga and exercises are part of my life since my childhood. And meditation is something that I always got attracted to. Spirituality, adhyatma, unknown power that, takes care of all of us. I always got attracted to that. So Art of Living was just another step towards that goal. So in fact, but since Art of Living I joined, I have been doing it more regularly, the yoga part, simply because they are a very organized structure. The organization is very structured. The way they teach you, the way they follow up with you, the way they make you continue that is very good. So because I was associated with them, I have got this habit of doing yoga on a daily basis, almost for the now since 2010 11 I do daily. Very rarely I miss it. Of course, during some days and some weeks when things are really hectic, I do miss the yoga part, but I do the Sudarshan Kriya almost daily. I don't miss it. And meditation is also a part of my day-to-day schedule. With pandemic, pandemic has been a boon for us spiritually oriented people, because we get a lot of time now at home. Earlier नहीं तो गाड़ी पकड़ो, बस पकड़ो, ट्रैवलिंग में 2-3 घंटे जाते थे. अभी वो सब 2-3 घंटे ना हम लोग साधना करते हैं, स्पिरिचुअलिटी में डालते हैं. So 2 times daily I do meditation, I do yoga once at least. All those activities on a daily basis for the last 2 years, so very regular. And the benefit, with God's grace, I am physically and mentally very fit. Okay, which is like, during this pandemic, people have gone through so much of mental trauma. Every single home has been affected by the COVID, and most of us have lost either a family member or a close friend or a close relative or a close neighbor. Some way or the other, it has affected us. It has put us through periods of insecurity, anxiety. It's the yoga and the meditation that has kept me sane, that has kept me very, grounded, centered, and given me the strength to go through the difficult periods that we also faced at home. Okay, it's not as if we didn't have any problems at home. We also faced a lot of problems. I lost my father-in-law to COVID just 3 months back. So, but then this has kept me strong. So yoga and meditation and Sudarshan Kriya gives you the strength to go through your difficult times with a very calm mind, with a very, rational approach. You're not disturbed so much as normally other people would get disturbed. You have the strength from within to face difficult times. Just to give you an example, my husband doesn't or used to be not practicing yoga or meditation or Sudarshan Kriya. And during the last year, during I think May or June, he got this anxiety attack. Okay, he suddenly started having some chest pain. He used to be restless because हम लोग सब घर पे बंधे हुए थे ना, सब nobody can get out. Okay, my father-in-law was there at that time, so he couldn't meet him. Father-in-law and mother-in-law, he couldn't go and meet them every day. Almost alternate day, he used to go and meet them. They used to look forward to his presence. Now with all this, they were getting desperate. He was getting desperate. We were locked up at home, and that turned out into a anxiety attack for my husband. He lost his. I mean, I was afraid he had to be admitted to the hospital for anxiety. So during that period, of course, we had to take him to the hospital and get his chest ECG and all that done. That all came normal, and he was put into some tablets. But those tablets are all antidepressing, anti-anxiety, which you get addicted to. So we were like scared about, where this is headed to. And then I told him, you have to do this Sudarshan Kriya. June, I made him do that Sudarshan Kriya course. And since then, he has been practicing it every day, along with the yoga and meditation. Even before the Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, Art of Living used to conduct meditation. Sri Ravi Shankar ji himself used to come live 2 times a day to conduct free meditation sessions. Across the world, people join, and we also joined, morning 12:30 and evening 7:30. I mean, 3 months, March, April, May, we did it with him, and that kind of helped my husband, and he knew that there is something different in this that helps. And during his anxiety attack, I think it's a meditation that made him feel better. Then he started doing this Sudarshan Kriya. And within 2 months, he started feeling so much more better. Today, now he says कि ये इसके बगैर मेरा क्या हाल होता था. And now he is practicing it every day. So मेरे घर के अंदर का ये real example है कि जो कि it has helped him, and I'm so thankful for this. That he, instead of going towards the path of depression and neurological or psychological problems, he was channelized towards a better way of life, thanks to yoga and meditation.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any message that you would like to convey to our students?
Yeah. You are all very fortunate that you have found GE Foundation. Okay. So make the best use and capitalize on this opportunity that has been presented to you in your life. Work very hard, be sincere, be honest, and keep your goal in front of you. Keep a goal. The goal has to be something which is like ऐसा वाला गोल रखने का. ऐसा वाला ये गोल नहीं कि मुझे ना 60% मिले तो मैं 65% लूंगी. That is not a goal. The goal should be, for you as a pharmacist, you can say, pharmacy करके क्या हम दुकान खोलेंगे. That is not a goal. You say, I will open a company which will make drugs and which will find a new medicine for COVID or something like that, or HIV or cancer. So that is a goal where you feel, when you think about the goal, it is like something where you say, you take a deep breath and say, wow, क्या goal है. गोल शायद पहुंचेंगे नहीं पहुंचेंगे वो अलग बात है, लेकिन जब गोल बड़ा रखते हो तो आप उसके करीब तक पहुंचते हो. जितना छोटा गोल होता है उतना ही आपका रीच भी होता है. So you believe that you can do something great, something awesome, something amazing, and you keep working towards it. Okay, if you decide you want to go to the moon, then only it is possible that you will achieve something that is similar to going to the moon. If you say कि नहीं यार मैं दिल्ली तक भी जाऊं तो बहुत बड़ा बात है, आप मुंबई भी नहीं पहुंचोगे. तो ये this is what you keep, a big large goal, big aim in life, and don't think with a very narrow approach. Think big, not for yourselves but for the society. Because if GE Foundation didn't find you, okay, it's something they're doing for the society. So think what you can do for the society. Okay, अपने आप से तुम्हारा भी भला हो जाएगा उससे. So that's my message for the, I hope it's motivating enough and inspiring to keep a big goal and go forward. And the other message that I would like to tell you is, don't forget your roots. Okay, now GE Foundation is your stepping forward platform. They have given you a platform to go ahead in life. Your parents have given you a platform to step ahead in life. So many of your friends, teachers may have helped you. So when you go ahead in life and reach a place where, you know, you can look back or look down and say, oh, I have reached this high. So don't look down upon them. See how you can take them also up towards where you have reached. So that's what you have to go back and give back what you got, and much more than what you got. Okay, so that's the second very important message that I want to give you all.
Beautiful message, ma'am. It's very, very important for all the children to understand what you're saying. It's absolutely right. I mean, they should understand what you're saying.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah.
If you look at my own life, I studied in the same college where I'm presently working. Okay, so I went back to my alma mater and I stayed there. Okay, I had got a lot of opportunities to join back into higher places of education. Okay, I got opportunity to work at UDCT. You know what is UDCT, which is now called as ICT. Okay, I was offered a position there. I was offered a position in the campus, in the university campus, to head its department. But then I said, anybody could go there and do those things, you know, because wahan pe sab facilities available hai, wahan pe sab, you know, everything is available, and anybody could be employed with the same qualification of mine, and they could be there available. But somebody with my background is needed back here at my college, because my college is in a suburban. The kind of students who come there are, you know, middle class, lower middle class population. It's the Sindhi population. You know, I don't know if you know about Sindhi history, but they're all migrants from Sindh, which was during partition. Pakistan और India का जब partition हुआ, वहां से भाग के आए थे लोग, सब छोड़ छाड़ के, घर वर सब छोड़ के, बस जो कपड़े पहने वो लेकर के आ गए इधर और यहाँ पे अपना घर बसाया. So the kind of people who are there need that kind of higher education opportunities, need that kind of, you know, a teacher who will be able to take them forward to the next level. Okay, if I leave and go, they might employ somebody else who's probably not so educated and qualified, and that opportunities might be missed out. So that was the way I thought, and I stayed back. Of course, it was comfortable for me because it's close to my house. There was a personal agenda there. But I refused or didn't take up higher things for another reason. So that's something like I want to give back what I got from the CHM college, because CHM college is the reason why I'm today what I am. Okay, my BSc in that college is a deciding foundation for my higher education. So that's maybe one very good example as to.
Yeah, very good to know that, ma'am.
Ma'am, we got to know so much about you today. We hope you all enjoyed this informative session. It is our honor and privilege that so ma'am, now I give a vote of thanks to Dr. Bhuvan ma'am for the information, for their information, and also thankful for Harshita ma'am to giving us support and guide us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure to meet you all, Sandhya, Chaya, and Harshita ji. A very nice, pleasant evening spent with you. I look forward to more such, you know, discussions and yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you to Sandhya and Chaya also. They did really a good job. Thank you everyone. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.